What up, what up, what up, what up? What is going on, everybody? What is going on? And welcome to Blunt Thoughts on a Sunday night during, championship football or whatever. I was hoping to be over by now, but who cares? We're here to talk Mets, and we can talk Mets at any time, and we're here to talk Amazing Day. Um, and we can't do it on Tuesday nights. I was trying to figure out when to do it, and I was excited about yesterday, so I figured why not on a Sunday night? Um, and like I said, we're going to talk about Amazing Day, which was a great day, an exhausting day. I tell you that. I'll be honest with you, a very exhausting day. You can do a lot of walking, but a very fun day, an exciting day. When you get to see all these players, so many activities to get involved with and stuff like that. Um, but so I just wanted to share my experience. If you follow me on X, you've seen you see some of the videos I shared as I was going through things, as I walked in, as I went through, my little self-guided clubhouse tour and the museum that they had in the interview area and all that good stuff. Um, but like I said, man, it's a day that you need to plan for. You need to plan for, and you need to have a game plan. Um, I kind of went in there what I thought was a game plan, but I really didn't have a game plan. I was all over the place, and the way they had it worked out is you had your entry time, and an hour after you were allowed in, then you had your autograph session, and the autograph session line was insane, ladies and gentlemen. And by the time I walked in, towards the end of my entry time, because I believe you could only come in up to an hour after your entry time, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't even open like that. But once you were inside, which we weren't clear about, you were able to stay inside. You were able to stay inside. But for me, like I said, I walked in at the end of my entry time, and I went straight for the autograph. I went straight for the autograph, and the line already at 10:40 or so when I got there for autograph session of 10:30 was already insane. It was where they had the autograph was actually in the players lot where the players parked their cars. Um, they had a tent set up out there, obviously, because you're not gonna have people out there in the elements. And in those tents were booths, four different booths where they had different set of two players, maybe three players. I actually went in there twice. We'll get into that, and it was two players where you would go into, but the queue was like wrapped around through the tunnel. You first weren't even sure what line you were on because as you were getting there, there was a line to go into the home team clubhouse, into the Mets clubhouse. There was a line to go into the Mets batting cages to go in there and take some swings. Um, there was a line, a little bit of a line, not too much, but to go towards the K corner and the Cadillac Club. So, and all of this is happening in the players' tunnel underneath the stadium, which we don't really see too much. Which, when it's only them, yeah, it's perfectly fine. But when you got thousands of people in there, it's a really crowded experience and a very confusing experience. Even though they had a lot of help. Oh yeah, as you go in there, there's also a pathway to go into a theater for a viewing of what do they call it, the Metro Park, which Steve Cohen is trying to build out there with his people outside City Field and all that good stuff. But again, just trying to give you my experience and how my day went. Got in there, go to do the autograph thing, and shout out to my guy Terrence and Jay who helped me out there because, like I said, it was a long line and they pulled me um, and had me get online with them. When they see me, my guy Terrence, who actually is a good viewer of my stuff, a good supporter and stuff, and I had met him before, recognized me, and the first time I met Jay, so shout out to them. They looked out, got to meet up with them again throughout the day, but that was cool. And then the autograph thing. Listen, I understand why they did it the way that they did it. You know, you don't want people all queuing up to the same booth because they want to get a certain player, whether it be an alumni or a current player, right? So, like I said, once you finally got into the final tent where you go get your autographs, then they have four booths set up, but they were covered behind the curtain. And you just had to choose one. You choose a line, you go get on that line, and whoever you get, you get. Now, if you were smart, you ask people on the way out, who did you get? Some people were just willingly giving up this information because they're excited, right? As they walk out, oh, I got this guy, I got that guy. And then there you're able to decide, okay, where do I want to go? For me, I chose to go where I was told Shamania was. Right? I was like, I'm gonna go see my guy Shamania one more time. Um, joke around about the fact that I missed out being able to be on his Zoom and all that good stuff, right? So I went to that line. I think when I went in there, it was they had from what I was told, Edwin Diaz was in there in one of the booths. I think he was in booth 1. I forget who he was with. Probably, and a lot of times you had a current player with an alumni. Sometimes you had both alumni. Like they just mixed it up, and they were rotating guys too. Because I actually went in there twice, like I said. So you had Edwin Diaz, you had Starlin Marte, and I forget who the third booth was. I think it was like Sean Reed Foley and somebody else, which I had no interest in. So I went to my guy Mania. But besides Mania, when I walk in, who do I get, or who's the first player that I see? And it had to happen like this for your boy, right? It had to happen like this for your boy. So like I said, you're in the line, whatever. And even as you're getting close, you still can't see because they were like being real anal about not letting you see inside. So they finally opened the curtain. Boom, I walk in, and what do I get? AJ Minter. Now, you know me, blunt thoughts, right? So I walk in, I see AJ Minter, and I'm like, come on, man. Of course, why I got to get the Brave? Who the hell wants to see the Brave? Who wants to autograph from a Braves guy? You know what I mean? And he looks at me, he's like, whoa. And he's like, hey, come on, guy, what's up, man? I'm one of you now. And I start laughing, like, nah, man, I'm kidding, man. Welcome to the team, whatever. Good to have you, blah, blah, blah. The best of luck. What I can't even remember what I was saying, but just had a little fun with him. And the funny thing is, this theme continued throughout the whole day, ladies and gentlemen. Because another thing about Amazing Day is if you play it strategically, and I'm going to be all over the place with this, but I'm going to give you little bits and pieces, little tips, little, you know what I'm saying? So that if hopefully they keep on doing this, you could plan for yourself how you can go about it. Because I definitely plan on being better about what I do because, like I said, Amazing Day was a great experience, but a tiring experience. Your boy feels like he played 2 doubleheaders. Hector, what do you mean 2 doubleheaders? In softball, sometimes because of rain and stuff like that, you get stuck having to make up games. And there's been days where we've played 4 games on a Sunday because you played 2 sets of doubleheaders. That's what I feel like right now. Or maybe 2 football games if that's even possible. That's how beat up I feel from all the walking around and standing. I think I sat maybe 3 times for a total of 20 minutes throughout the day. And I was in there from about 10:15 to 6 p.m. just getting my steps in. And I won't be trying to get my steps in if you see the videos and pictures. Your boy needs to get some steps in. Well, we started yesterday. Anyways, but one thing is, these guys, listen, I'm sorry, Mets, if you're watching. They have the autograph spot, right? The autograph session. But if you were smart, and I didn't know this, I got to learn this throughout the day, and I probably should have known from last time. But it was 6 years ago when they did it last time, and it's the only one that's been done. The first thing is you could run into players all day. Now, of course, if you had the VIP experience, which I can't speak much about, just from a few people that I know that had it, and from some of the stuff that I've seen on social media, you had more than ample opportunity to meet guys because they had you, I think it was in the owner's box and in one of the clubs where you can go in there, hang out all day throughout the day. And they were rotating players in and out of there for like meet and greets. So that's a great thing. But also in the tunnel, because most of this is going on downstairs and through the players' tunnel. That's where you spend a lot of your time. And as you go up to the theater or to the Piazza Club, where they had the presentations and they had the interview sessions, the K Corner, where they had I know Evan had his show there. Shout out to my guy Evan Roberts. Didn't get to go see hi to him. and then they go say hi to my guy P. Hoffman, who I had told on the radio show when I called Saturday night I was going to say hi. But anyways, they had their show in there. Then the Metropolitan Club, which is the left field restaurant up there, that glass restaurant you see on TV. If you go to the games, that glass restaurant in left field on the Piazza level, that's the Metropolitan Club. They had the radio, WFAN was there, and they had a show going on from there. Other than that, most of it was downstairs. Whether it was the baseball cards, which I wanted to do and gave up on. You're going to laugh when I tell you about that. Almost last minute. Again, like I said, the batting cages, the bullpens. You go to the bullpens, you could throw around, you could go in there. I actually sat in the bullpen for a while. It's funny because I sat in the bullpen, right? And I wish I had the picture to show you guys. I took a picture because I'm sitting there in the bullpen, basically where the players sit. And even further inside, actually, because it was cold. And I'm sitting there, and I look up, and they have a sign that says attack. Attack. And it made me think about last season. And when we as fans, and when we would talk about the games, just a little side note here. That's how your boy thinks, Blunt Thoughts. And how we will always talk about why these guys nibbling? Why these guys nibbling? Why doesn't Jeremy Hefner tell these guys to throw strikes? Why this? Why that? And sometimes I would tell people, guys, do you really think that Jeremy Hefner is telling these guys, hey, go out there and throw balls all over the place and walk guys? I'm pretty sure he's telling them throw fucking strikes. So when I see attack, it just, what do you call it? I forget the word. But it just stood out to me. And I hopefully they take more heed of that this season. And we know towards the end of the season that improved. But it's just something that stood out from all of the things that I experienced yesterday, was seeing that and how we talk about the game. And sometimes it's like, no, it's just, sometimes it's just guys just have struggled. Sometimes they're not good enough and whatever it is. But back to the amazing day experience. So like I said, throughout the tunnel, these guys walk around because they got to switch around through all these places. So I had a chance to high five Jesse Winker as he's walking through. So many guys. What's his name? Jesus, I got him written down somewhere because there were so many of them. Ray Knight, Mookie Wilson, Benny Agbayani, Edgardo Alfonso, who else? Starling Marte, Cleon Jones, Ron Swoboda, Matt Harvey. That was cool. So many of the guys just walking through the halls. Saw Strawberry a couple of times. 30, 40 feet, 50 feet. I'm not going to lie. Have met Straw a couple of times. So it wasn't a big deal. But the real reason why I didn't go see Straw is because I was kind of upset. Right? Because the whole day, as I was getting, the whole day, in the morning, as I was getting ready to go out there, I said, you know what? Maybe you should wear your Strawberry jersey and get Strawberry to sign it. But since they had said, oh, no, you can't get no autographs, you can only have the poster signed, this and this and that, as Pat Mahomes scores his second touchdown of the game, holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, championship football is going on. We all know we got the Bills KFC. It is right now 22-27. If I'm not mistaken, it's Pat Mahomes' second rushing touchdown of the game. It's an interesting game, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't really watched much football, but this is Blunt Thought Sports, even though we talk mostly Mets. But you can say that the Bills have been the better team all year, right? And the Chiefs, although they're the champs, they just find ways to win. They haven't really been great. But I wanted to see how this game would go because you want to see, is the better team this season going to finally come through? A team that's been good and has been trying to break through for years. We already know about the Bills, 4 in a row, 3 in a row, whatever the hell it was. Or is the team right now that seems to be great and just finds ways to win going to be able to do that? I didn't think that they would be able to. Right now, it seems like they might, as they take a 29-22 lead with about 10 minutes left in the fourth. If somehow you're watching both, we appreciate you. If you're watching this because you wanted to hear me talk Mets, I apologize. But I just saw that happen, so I had to get into that sidebar. But anyways, heck, you're being boring as hell tonight. What the hell's going on? Amazing Day experience was a great experience, ladies and gentlemen, but a tiring experience, very tiring experience. Um, it didn't help. It didn't help that I had a buddy of mine join me later on in the day because he had a later time slot. So after I had done all the queuing up and all the walking and all the nonsense for the autograph, where I could have possibly been able to go and do something else, I now met up with my boy and I did that whole process again. And at this time, because at different points of the day, the line was big, the line was small. There were times the line got so big, they took you out of the stadium and back in, out there through the bullpen. Not quite out of the stadium, but like outside where you were freezing, and then bring you back in. You feel me? So I had to do that. So that's another tip. If you're going and you're going with friends, get the same time slot. If you can't get the same time slot, tell your boy, your homegirl, whoever it is, yo, I loves you, but I can't fucks with you. And that's what I should have told my boy Quays, because, man, having to do that line again, it was now fun first for the body, and we missed out on a lot of things because that everything that we wanted to do was like, damn, do we want to get up on that line? You know what I'm saying? Do we want to do this, or do we rather go do something else? And what we decided to do was go and hang out and go check out my guy Sal. Right? Shout out to my guy Sal. I know to some people, damn, I just realized I don't even have the light on. Do I really want to put the light on? There we go. Now you can really see my ugly ass. So we go check out Sal's show, and lucky for your boy, Mendoza's there, right? He's being interviewed. They're doing the spot with Mendoza. Missed out on Brandon Nimmo, who I would have loved to see once again chit chat with Nimmo. See if he remembers your boy, right? I talk to Nimmo quite often by the players lot. Not gonna lie, talk to Nimmo quite often by the players lot, and it's funny because I'm gonna share a video later on about Nimmo and some comments he made, which I was like, oh, damn, he kind of told me the same thing at one point. But we'll do that in a few. But like I said, Carlos Mendoza was there. If you follow me on X, I apologize. You may have seen me share the video because I was very excited about what happened when we went up there and that spot was done. And listen, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Got about 20 minutes talking nonsense. Haven't said hello, man. Shout out to all you guys. Matter of fact, let's get up in here real quick. Let's see what's going on, man. I see there's already been a lot of comments. What the hell? And can't even keep up. But anyways, like always, man, shout out to my guy Darren, who always helps out all of us content creators with his support and telling you guys to do the right thing, to like, share, and subscribe. So shout out to you, Darren, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to the homie Cindy, who's always a great supporter too of all of us, and who makes sure to always leave a comment, even if she's gonna miss the show. So I appreciate you, Cindy. What else we got here? My guy Stan, how you doing, Stan? What's going on? My dude CP, what it is, brother? What it is? Yo, Ed, what's going on, kid? My fellow schmoozer, man. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. But anyways, as I did this to buy time, right? But I'm still not doing what I want to do. Let's see what we got here. I want to share with you guys something. If you haven't seen it, for those that you don't follow me on X or whatever, and are actually viewing through the YouTube channel. Let's see what we got here. This is what happened when your boy went to introduce himself. Hold on, apologize. As we do that, and let's try to make that a little bit bigger. And we try to get my guy Ant off the screen. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The audio is a little screwed up. But the manager of the New York Mets actually knows who your boy is. I don't know how. Shout out to you, Mendy. I don't know if you watch the YouTube. I don't know if you see me go crazy on X, but however it is, I'm gonna keep shouting you out, man, and I'm keep saying thank you, thank you, thank you for making my day. But anyways, I apologize. I didn't even know this was happening, actually, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to my quiz. So, look again, real quick. You can see Sal's face when he says, because he tells me, I go, hey, Mendy, whatever. Nice to meet you. He's like, oh, I know who you are. I said, no, you don't, man. Stop playing. And I tell him in Spanish. He's like, no, I know who you are. That's when I guess when he started recording, you hear him say, he, he's like, what's this? I saw Sal's face because he's in just as much shock as I am. And he goes on to tell me oh, he's when he saw me play catch with Shamanaya, because you guys know I got lucky with that. He saw me play catch with Shamanaya in Central Park. He saw me play catch with someone in Central Park, and he was like, I saw you play catch. I said, I know that guy. I know that guy is. So that was like also like a very shocking surprise to me. Um, that was just tons of fun, man. That was tons of fun. That was again an experience that I would never expect. I would never expect that, from somebody like I've said, man, who grew up in Washington Heights, um, just loving baseball, loving sports, and now enjoys talking about it here on these platforms. Um, to have the manager actually recognize you that you do this and thank you for the support. Me, you know what I'm saying? No, thank you. Like I told him, thank you for what you did, helping to turn this culture around, this season around, for giving us such a great year. He said, no, thank you for your support. I see what you do. For someone who's critical sometimes, but over and over when I meet these people, when I talk to Sean Manaya and I tell him, hey, Sean, I do this, sometimes I'm pretty critical. No, no, no. We appreciate that. That pushes us to be better. You know what I'm saying? Um, when Carlos Mendoza says something like that, it's like, yo, okay, it's okay to be critical. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're fair, these guys would appreciate it. We've seen actually the encounter between Carlos Mendoza and Frank the Tank, someone who Met fans don't really like too much, when he's telling Frank the Tank, like, yo, we appreciate you. You know? Shout out to Wardy, whom I seen a video with men and then Wardy talking about Wardy asking him a question, and then Wardy, I think he said in the video afterwards in the comments where after the fact, Mendy came up to him and said, yo, I know who you are. You're Wardy. You know? So, and it's not just us, ladies and gentlemen. I know for myself, and here I'm going to speak for myself. I've said this many a times. I'm not an insider. I'm not an analyst or whatever. I'm giving my opinion. I'll break some things down and every now and then from a fan's perspective, like we all do, right? And I try to speak for us. You know what I'm saying? From conversations that I have with fans, whatever. with friends. So when I come out here and it's us, I'm representing us. So to know that the manager of the team that we love pays attention a little bit to what's going on, it's a refreshing experience. And for me personally, um, man, it was a humbling experience. Um, it was exciting. It was great. One thing, let me go back real quick. Also with the amazing day, like I said, this is all about amazing day and the whole experience. One of the first things I got to experience was, which I also posted on X. One of the first things that I was lucky to experience was because, like I said, you get many chance encounters with these guys walking around and people walking around, right? And there were a lot of people that I didn't see. There were a lot of people that I didn't see, but the first person that I did was able to speak to that I was close up was Alex Cohen, co-owner of the team, and that was amazing too. And I even told him my story, and I may have told some of you guys. I've said it here before. Some of you guys may have heard it. Where when the Cohens first bought the team in 2020, I mean, whenever the hell it was, that first year, opening day, I'm walking next to Alex Cohen from first base all the way out to center field where the 7 line sits. And I'm looking at her because don't forget, we have seen her a little bit now with the whole process of them buying the team. So you kind of know what she looks like, but it's still not someone that right away you know, right? And I'm walking and I'm like, damn, I recognize this person, but I'm not sure who she is. But I know she's somebody because she has security walking with her. And I'm talking about, guys, she's about 5 feet from me the whole time. We go, and nobody's really recognizing her either. She's just walking. By the time I separate from her, I go where I was going, and she goes where she was going. Which, if you think back, if you're a good Met fan, you know that day she went out and hung out with the 7 line. That's where she was going. When I seen her, that's when it hit me like, oh my God, that was Alex Cohen. What an idiot. I had an opportunity to meet the lady and say hello. You know what I'm saying? And that's bothered me ever since then. So I actually told her that yesterday when I saw her. She was like, oh my gosh, well, here we are now. I was like, yeah, finally. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. I forget whatever the hell else I said. Spoke to her for like a minute, all these, not even a minute, 45 seconds. It feels like forever, for someone like me. You know what I mean? It feels like forever because it's an experience that you don't get to have and you cherish it. And as I say thank you, take the picture, shake her hand. I walk away and I come back and I say, Alex. And I lean in and I whisper, can we bring Pete back? She smiles. She said, it's up to him. It's up to him. It's up to him. But before we get into Pete, because we found out how much it's up to him later on, give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can pick something up here. Anyways, we'll get into that a little bit more on the amazing day. So, like I was saying, you get a chance to meet every players. And what I was gonna say about the autographs is too, because they also had an alumni booth where you can go take a picture with an alumni, and then they had, which wasn't really publicized too much, an area where an alumni were designated to sit and sign autographs too. But there were also other places where I saw that they rotated players. So, for example, where was this? In the Cadillac. Was this in the Cadillac Club? I don't even know where the hell it was, ladies and gentlemen. It might have been in the Cadillac Club where you could go and they had, because they had it's actually where Wardy was, matter of fact. And they had trading cards. There was a trading card set up and all that. And in there was a table set up. And they were rotating players in and out of there for autograph experience. That's actually, matter of fact, shout out to my homie Patty, who's probably in the chat, may or may not be in the chat. Patty's probably beat up too. Met up with her later on too. But Patty didn't care for the autographs, so we didn't have to do the line with Patty. I was praying Patty didn't want to do that line because I definitely would have to do that line a third time. Oh my, oh my. Anyways, at one point I broke off from Patty for a bit because I ran into my guy Junior. Shout out to my guy Junior, who I'm sure is in the chat, in the comments and all that. Ran into my guy Junior and his brother and his sister. Shout out to them. I don't know if they want me to shout them out by name, but shout out to them, man. Those are my peoples, man. There goes my guy Junior. What up, my dude? Ran into my guy Junior later on in the afternoon. After I ran into my guys from Shea and Sons, shout out to them, Keith and Key. And I was chopping it up with them. And then Junior and his fam came through, and I started to chop it up with them. And then Keith and Key said, to hell with this mofo. And they took Patty away from me. And they ended up back there. And they were almost going to get Jose Buto's autograph. And Patty, as I met up with Patty later on, and she had already lost Keith and Key, because there's only so much they could take a heck. You know what I'm saying? Nah, shout out to you guys again, man. It was a pleasure to finally meet Key. I had met Keith a couple of times already, but I never actually met Key in person. So that was cool. But Patty tells me that they were online and they were next in line, and Jose Buto got up and was gone. So they missed out on Buto. So that was a little disappointing for them. But the point is, there's different areas. There was another area, I forget where it was, where they also had guys where you could have had an opportunity to sign an autograph. And then sometimes if you were lucky, maybe you could have got one in the hall somewhere. Shout out to my homie Lisa. I said, shout out to my guy Quays, man, who did the video, who's helping me out here behind the scenes, putting up the comments and all that good stuff. But I see that he just put up Lisa's comment. Shout out to Lisa, who I saw yesterday too. And Andy, the angry Albanian, can't stand that dude. Nah, shout out to you, Andy. That's how Andy and I greet each other all the time now. Is on some hatred shit, but is all love, all love. He knows why, because the first time we actually bumped into each other face to face after interacting on X, he threatened to beat me up in a joking way. So that's how we greet each other. So shout out to them. And this was another thing, ladies and gentlemen, just running in to everybody. You know, yes, Lisa, exhausted. I'm exhausted. I'm sore, exhausted, all of it. But just running into people you know that you haven't seen since yeah, Santos, you could do that. Honestly, bro. You could do that. But if not, get the early slots. If you can, get the first slot. Get the autographs out the way, and you ain't got to worry about that crap no more. You know what I'm saying? And then if you get lucky, listen, there were players in the batting cages. You could go in the batting cages. I wanted to do it. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy's birthday on Tuesday. Another reason why we're doing a show tonight, because we're not doing a Tuesday night. Not going to tell you how young I am, but I told you I get younger. I don't get older. George, shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you. But I'm a little kid. My guy Ant, I hit that podcast, yo. Shout out to my guy Ant, my guy Mikey, who had been under the weather. They just did their last episode, I think came out yesterday. I started watching it, haven't finished it, but them dudes is hilarious. They had me cracking up, man. I've already told you guys, if you don't check them out, go check them out. A little bit different look at New York sports, you know what I'm saying? They actually do a little bit more New York sports than I do. Because I stay stuck on the Mets. They get into a little bit of everything, but they take a little bit of a comedic view, and they're freaking hilarious. I was cracking up watching them earlier. Where were we? But I'm a little kid. I'm a freaking little kid. That's what I am when it comes to this thing. So I wanted to go to the batting cages. But every time I went, the line was insane. Insane. But sometimes there's players in there. I've seen some videos shared on social media. But they do this with the kids. Starling Marte actually putting the ball on the tee for a kid. You know, Mark Viento's giving another kid hitting tips about using his legs. Forget who, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But you even as an adult could go take some swings. I saw, I forget who it was, telling some dude, hey, nice hacks. Listen, when you washed up for a major league, going to tell you nice hacks, I would love that. but I was not going to get on that damn line. You could have gone to the bullpen, thrown. They were measuring speed. Seen video with Edwin Diaz hanging out over there. You know what I'm saying? Watching some guy throw. He even looked at the radar gun and was like, oh, 40 miles an hour. I was cracking up when I saw that. No, yo, if you watching homie on social media, man, that's all in fun, bro. I probably would have thrown 25 at this point. You know what I'm saying? But it was just, it's like, so many cool things that you could do that if you plan them right. And I'll be honest, that line wasn't too big. The line of the bullpen wasn't too bad to go do that. I could have waited on that, but at that point, I was just beat, man. I was just beat. Like I said, I'm a little kid. Who hasn't wanted to see? Shout out to Jake Brown. I forget the name of his show too, man. I saw that he posted the baseball card. I saw that throughout the. I already wanted to do that, and I saw that throughout the day. I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta make it a point to go get this baseball card." Ladies and gentlemen, that was in the visitors' clubhouse, right? So you had to queue up to the visitors' club. Now to go into the clubhouse, they had to queue. The last time they did it, you went in there and it was open game, free game. You could sit in the lockers. People kind of did that anyways, right? But only in the visitors clubhouse. And the reason why they did that was because inside the visitors clubhouse was the card, the baseball card. Not everybody wanted to do the baseball card, especially the parents. A lot of the ladies don't care for that shit. They're like, and they definitely didn't care for the lines. And some just sat in the lockers while somebody was on cue, which made it even longer, right? Because now you think is just little Jimmy, but Jimmy's cousins, mom, and everybody been sitting over there. Now they're all coming. You know what I mean? So I was actually in there, got all the way in the clubhouse, and gave up on the baseball card. And I'm still bummed out about it. And I can't wait till next year because hopefully they do it again, and I'm gonna make it my business to make sure that I get to do it. Because like I said, you just gotta plan better. And definitely don't go to 2 autograph sessions. Because that'll wreck your whole day. Both physically and time wise. You know what I'm saying? Um I appreciate that. And that's why we do this, man, to share this. And that's why yesterday I tried to share a few videos. I shared a video on X, Twitter, where, you know what, because this was pretty cool, man. And it's short, it's not long. Let me try to bring that up. But they had the interview room, right, where they do the interviews. Well, we see Mendy post game, the Mendy post game press conference or pre-game or whatever. They do that. They had like a little museum set up in there. So they had a couple of like 4 or 5 different exhibits. We'll try to show you that real quick. But that was pretty cool. Your boy almost wanted to take a celebratory shout out to Mike Francesa, celebratory cock, how he would call it, celebratory cock. Here it is. Cause they had they had a setup from all the celebrations from the shout out to you, Ortiz. Thank you, brother. From all the damn, it is kind of 3 minutes. It is kind of 3 minutes, but we're gonna do it anyways. First, look at your boy. Look at your boy. I shouldn't share this now because I want to have fun with this now that I see this. Because of that guy to my left. He's a funny guy, that dude over there to my left. I had to ask him some questions. But this is fun. This is the interview table in the interview room or whatever. They had this set up where you could sit there and have some fun. I mean, I've been there a couple of times. I've taken this picture a couple of times. But like I said, your boy's a little kid. So every time it's fun. Damn. I don't usually look good. I look kind of good there. Anyways, here's the video. So there's the concert series, all the concerts they do there. They had a couple of things there. I don't really care for this too much. I don't even know what all this crap is. Somebody's guitar. And they had little descriptions there, but I didn't really read it too much. Right? Foo Fighters, I could see there. Whatever. Then they had the OMG exhibit to my guy Iglesias, who we need to bring back. I don't know why I didn't spend too much time there. But enough. along with the Grimace glove, obviously. So it was like Glacier slash Grimace. Now this, I was like, yeah, shout out to my guy Jay, baby, with the OMG. They had a couple of OMGs, but then they had the home plate. Right? Got a funny behind the scenes joke on that, but I'm not gonna tell you guys. My guy Quays knows. I could smell the home plate. People were smelling something else. I'll tell you that much. Excuse me. Now this was a tempting part, ladies and gentlemen. But your boy's never been a thief. I wanted to take one of those corks so bad, guys. But these were different jerseys throughout the postseason. I don't know whose bad that was. I don't know what base. Oh, my guy Marky V. De lo mío! Now he's Puerto Rican. This guy's everything, man. Game used road jersey. Doom doom doom. Two on Homer. I don't know what that base is. My guy Nims. I took my guy Nims. Manaya jersey, Lindor jersey, as you guys can see. They even got the thing the pitchers use to scrub their cleats out, whatever it's called back there. Well, you guys kind of heard the joke there. Let's just say your boy had a nice cologne on yesterday. Anyways, enough of this. So that was pretty cool. Let me see. Is there anything else worth sharing here? Oh, I think I forgot this exhibit here. This was Old Timers Day exhibit right here. Yeah, a couple of things from Old Timers Day. Mm, They don't even show what that is. What is that? Whatever. But I thought this was pretty cool. I actually thought this was pretty cool. They bring the museum out there, you know, little museum experience. So that was pretty cool stuff. So that was one of the things you could do down there. And again, that was as you came out of the autograph session. Matter of fact, as I came out of the autograph session, that's what I went to do. Because excuse me, because it wasn't too crowded. So I just jumped in there real quick. And right across from that was the Mets clubhouse. So when I came out of the club autograph session the second time with Quays, we actually went into the Mets clubhouse because that's another thing. At different times of the day, it was either crowded or it was empty. So when I came out the first time, no way in hell. When I came out with Quays, we walked right in. Now again, the only difference from last time was that and you know what? I'll share that video with you guys too, man. This is what kind of show it is tonight, man. This is an amazing day show because I'm just really trying to avoid the nonsense. That we're gonna have to talk about it a little bit, to be honest. Well, let me show you guys this real quick. This is what the autograph tent looked like. I apologize to the Mets if they don't like this, but this is what the autograph thing looked like. Right? So that's that. Um, Now let me see if I can find the other one here. First off, let's stop that. We don't want to hear that anymore. But that's how the autograph thing. What was it? What did I wanted to show you guys the clubhouse real quick. I hope the Mets don't kill me for this stuff. Let's see here. But listen, man, why not? Ugh. Guys, let me show you this real quick, man. Look, this is the line. Look at this. Look at this. That's what I'm talking about. This was early. This was early on, and it wasn't even that crowded then, right? Yeah, I forgot. Shout out to Todd Zeal. Seen Todd Zeal too. That's the best clubhouse right there that we just walked by on the left. What exits to the clubhouse? See, you see those people coming in? That's actually the entrance to go to the autograph session. And I still got to go way back there. And again, ladies and gentlemen, it's actually not too bad right now. Right? It's actually not too bad right now. I think we have a little bit more. Now we get towards the back over here. Somewhere along here is where I bumped into my guy Jay and my guy Terrence, who hooked me up and actually moved me up a little bit, but we ain't gonna talk about it. There you go. I don't know if you can see them there at the end. Kind of good because I don't know if they won't be on camera. But anyways, back to this, back to this, back to this. Apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but we're gonna. Oh man, look at your boy here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look who I got to meet. And probably should have tried to get an autograph from him. Right? Got to just meet him in the hallways. Look at your boy. Horrible picture for your boy, but I don't care. It's the experience that counts. My guy Luis Angel Acuña, who I told yo, dímelo. ¿Qué es lo que, manito? You gonna go take the second base job? He's like, yo, let's see what's up, man. I don't know. He started laughing. I'm like, yo, dude, we rooting for you, man. Keep working. Keep it up. You're the better Acuna anyways. You know how to throw that in there. You know how to throw that in there. What the hell is my freaking Clubhouse tour video, man? Fuck wrong with you, Heck? Wasting the people's time, man. We're wasting the people's time. And I don't even know why we're showing the people this stuff. We don't need to be on there while we do that. Apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Apologize. Oh, is that I keep forgetting. This is the Clubhouse tour. Here we go. First of all, when I saw this, man, when I saw this, I was like, damn, Pete. Are they gonna take that down? You think they'll take that down if Pete leaves, guys? Who knows? But anyways, okay, we'll skip some of that. But anyways, this is how they walk in. This is basically how they get into the stadium. When they walk in the stadium, boom. Get their little gym area. Man, this game is insane. I see. Yeah, I never seen that, and because I've been there a couple of times, ladies and gentlemen. I never seen the flags. That's something new, I believe, or maybe I just missed it before. Stood out. But we'll skip some of this boring stuff. See their mailboxes over there, and this is actually the clubhouse. Finally get in here. There we go. This is it. There, this is where the boys chill. This stuff is new too. Before they didn't have this, they had a big couch here, all tore up, like two couches all the way tore up. Then they have it roped off like that. See how I'm talking about? They have it all roped off. You can only walk straight through. And I guess they don't want people lingering too long in there, so they can get people in and out. But it's yeah. I thought that was David Wright's fake locker, but you're gonna see right now what guy's gonna say. Right. So when he said Lindor's locker was, they had David Wright in 2019, and I thought that was fake, but that was his locker. We've heard Lindor talk about shooting hoops. Look at where the hoop is. Mhm. That's me acting a fool because dude started filming me. Sorry, yo. Quay's trying to tell me let's go, man. Hating. Shout out to the homie Quays. And that's where the other guys will go. If they go to the right, they actually go towards the dugout. Watch. Glendon Rush back there. Oh gosh, I gotta talk over this because I said something silly here. Blah 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 blah. Bleep 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 bleep. I was being silly, ladies and gentlemen. I was being silly. I was like, why do they got a women's locker room for? But I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking. Anyways, back to this. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, an amazing day, and also you make it what you want. You make it what you want. In the Piazza Club, they had the interview area set up. You could spend all day there because they had different like little panels that they were bringing up there. They had different panels they were bringing up there. So, um, shout out to you, Richard, man. Thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button. Anybody else you haven't done it, hit that subscribe button. Like and share, all that good stuff. Appreciate you. And we do a bunch of different things here. Mostly talk Mets. We do game watch alongs. Today we're just doing a little bit of our amazing day experience, just bringing it to you guys as best as we could. Hopefully not too boring. And we will get into the juicy stuff a little bit. And as we're almost an hour into it, and I'm just wasting time. Um, and I apologize because I haven't really looked into the chat too much, but I see you guys are having a great conversation. It seems there's over 70 plus new comments after I've already looked at some of them. Um, but like I said, you could go up to the auditorium and they had different panels up there. I've already talked about the different shows WFN had in different places. Evan Roberts with his show. Sal and Joe B, shout out to them with their show they did. Uh, they had the alumni booth out in the K corner where you could go take a picture with an alumni, which was next to like the Cadillac Club again. Where you could also go and get some autographs. And there was another place. I'm trying to think where else I saw that guys were actually signing autographs. But I can't remember where it is. But again, there's so many chances just to have an encounter with these guys if you plan it correctly. You could hang out in the tunnel, and if you pick the right spot, you'll see every single one of these people because they're all gonna walk through at one point or another, going from one place to another. So, for example, when I went and got my autograph the first time, and it had AJ Minter and Sean Mania, when I came back with Quays, by the time I got up there, they bring back AJ Minter into the booth that I had. So that was a second encounter what I had with AJ Minter, where again I joked about getting the Brave this time for a second time. Like, oh my gosh, what the hell is going on here? But somehow I don't know. Quay's got two posters yesterday, so I got that poster signed for him, and I gave it to him. And it was AJ Minter and Mookie Wilson this time. right? But these guys are walking right through there. And again, they're walking with like two security guards or two escorts. Some of them don't really have security; they just have escorts. Like when we saw Acuna, he was just with two young ladies, like PR, who were escorting him around. The one was probably like a translator, because when she saw me talking to him in Spanish, she started talking in Spanish too. You know, so if you play it right, you have a chance to meet up these guys without having to get on these lines. Um, but again, it's a good idea to have an idea of what you want to try to do before you go in there, and then try to figure out where these things are. Because that's another thing. Depending on what time throughout the day it was, you couldn't go this way, you can't go that way. At one point, I think I mistakenly thought you couldn't go one way, and then I realized you could, and it was easier to just walk around the stadium than actually double back, go up and down. But sometimes they had no choice but to go up and back down. One thing you don't want to do, ladies and gentlemen, do not go field level and go out to the outfield, especially if it snowed before. And for sure as hell, do not try to go to the K corner through there, because you might bust your ass like your boy almost did. And I would have had no claim, no nothing, because I had no business going over there. I don't even know why they had that open, to be honest with you. They should have had that roped off. But I thought we could get to the K corner through there. Come to realize, no way, no how. But all I found was ice, and almost my butt on it a couple of times. Luckily, your boy could still chill and regain his footing. You know what I mean? I might be a little bit fat, out of shape, but we still could handle our body. Don't get it twisted now. Don't get it twisted now. Let's see. Do we have anything else? Anything else on Amazing Day that we want to share before we close out and get out of here? But we talk about the juicy stuff and we get into a little bit of your comments. What's up, Richard? What's up, man? Um, Anything else? Anything else in Amazing Days? No, just a lot of chance encounters. Like I said, saw a lot of players, saw a lot of Oh, shout out to Chicken Nugget. Not sure if Chicken Nugget's here tonight. Shout out to Chicken Nugget, man. Got to meet Chicken Nugget. That was cool. On the We were actually on the visitors clubhouse line. Yeah, we were actually on the visitors clubhouse line. Chicken Nugget was actually in front of me, and she bailed before me. I think somebody, if she's in here, she could correct me. If somebody she was with, actually went to check what was going on, and they came back and said, "This and that, we're out of here. We're going to another spot." So shout out to them. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to my guy Aaron, who might be up in here. Met him out there. He was one of the first people I met too. He recognized your boy, which is still something that we got to get used to. Not that everybody's like, oh, too many people, but if one or two people recognize me, it's like, holy crap. Okay, that's something to get used to. But shout out to Aaron, man. Chopped it up with him for a little bit. Where did I meet Aaron? Somewhere along the autograph session or in the museum. I think it was going into the little press conference museum area where we ran into Aaron. So that was pretty cool. Who else? Who else? So shout out to the homie Skills. Not that I met her, for the first, but bumped into her. Like I said, Lisa, Andy, uh, my guy T Bird, Jay. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? But all of you guys, man, that was fun. That was fun. Like I said, Keith and Key, Shay and Sons, uh, Junior, all of you people, and all of the players and all of that. Another thing that happened yesterday, you know who we didn't see, ladies and gentlemen? You know who we didn't see? Probably the guy that most people wanted to see, right? Probably the person that most people wanted to see, um, and Juan Soto. Can somebody tell me how the hell Juan Soto missed his flight? His flight couldn't get whatever the hell it was. We know for a fact this dude is not flying commercial. So I know I put miss flight here, misses his flight. You ain't miss no damn flight. You control the flight. Now I don't know what the weather situation was. I don't know what else was going on, but come on, dude, that's lame. Been signed you for over a month. You're the prize of the freaking off season. You're probably the guy that most people want to see for the first time in a Mets uniform with their own eyes because these guys were all wearing jerseys. As my guy Carlos Ortiz says, he didn't want to be there. Did you not want to be there? Is that true? And then he drags down Oscar Brazoban and my guy Daniel Nunez, man. Shout out to my guy Daniel Nunez, man. He drags them down with him as they were coming on his flight, which I'm sure he was paying for. They had to be coming on private flights. They had to be coming on private flights. So that's the first drop of the ball, the first error, the first strikeout that Juan Soto has as a New York Met. You should have been an amazing day. I'm sorry. That was not amazing by you. That was not amazing by you. And I don't know too much of the details again. But I don't see how much, I just don't see an excuse. I just don't see an excuse. I'm sorry. Like you should have been there, bro. You should have been there. You knew a long time ago. Everybody had arrangements. Like nah, unacceptable. But it is what it is. I'll probably get criticized for criticizing him for that because it's the golden boy. You can't say nothing. De lo mío, Soto, yo te quería también en el equipo, manito, pero concho, tú no puedes hacer eso, manito. Tú tenías que venir ayer. ¿Cómo que tú no puedes coger un vuelo? Tú, con 765 millones de dólares. Obviamente no te lo han dado todo todavía. Y no te han dado ni el primer cheque. Yo sé que no. Pero, come on. De verdad, manito. Que usted no pudo llegar. Por eso no importa. Usted lo que tiene que venir aquí a dar palo. Y todo eso se olvida. You come here, you hit the hell out of the ball, we'll forget all about that. Is what I'm just saying right there, ladies and gentlemen. But you can't do that, bro. You can't do that. You needed to be there, man. You needed to be there, man. Anyways. Man, do I really want to talk about this? The biggest thing out of yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, there were different panels throughout the day. Different panels, different things throughout the day. And one of those panels was Steve Cohen, David Stearns, and Carlos Mendoza. And this was what do you call it? Moderated, whatever the hell, by Gary Cohen. Shout out to Gary Cohen, who never acknowledges me, whom I bumped into the hallways yesterday again. Hey, Gary. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. But as I walked in, finally got to go into the Piazza Club. Actually walked into this right here. Like this was just going on. Like this just began to go on as my guy Quays and I walked in. So I want to just share this video with you guys as we bring it up here. What the hell is this thing? There we go. So sign him. You heard that? Listen, I didn't think I was gonna do this like this, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't think I was gonna do this like this by stopping it and stuff like that. But because when he says that we all love Pete, and then listen, guys, I'm not. Just hear me out, please. Hold on, hold on. Let me talk to you guys real quick. I'm not gonna start bashing these guys. Just hear me out, please. Okay? Hear me out. Anyways, when I hear we love Pete, well, how much do you love Pete, Mr. David Stearns? As a placeholder? Sign the guy, right? That's what you would say. Sign the guy. As you heard some people say there in the background. Sign him then, they said. Sign him then. And I kind of agree to a certain extent. Let's bring that back a little bit. So sign him. Hold on. You guys can't hear it? Oh shit.
And we're going to need to see it again.
My apologies, guys.
Hold on.
My apologies. You guys didn't hear that the whole time? I don't even know how that got muted. Here we go.
Those just few weeks left,
later,
the big elephant in the room is the fact that Pete Alonso is still a free agent. David, where do things stand?
Look, I think we all love Pete, and we've said that many times. And I think as we've gone through this process, we've continued to express that. And we also understand that this is a business, and Pete, as a free agent, deserves the right and has the right and earned the privilege, really, to see what's out there. We also feel really good about the young players who are coming through our system, who have the ability to play at the major league level. We saw that last year, and that's not always the most popular opinion, but we saw that last year, and we're going to need to see it again.
Hold on, guys.
So yeah, another thing is, and I think I seen Carlos, my guy Carlos Ortiz. I was watching a little bit of shout out to my guy Ass Subway to Shay.
All right.
So I was watching a little bit of him this morning. I think I saw Carlos Ortiz say this, and when I went back and I watched the video, I kind of noticed the same thing. When the fans boo right there, they're not necessarily booing Stearns. I think they're more they're more booing the idea when he says we like the young guys, and not that we as fans don't like the young guys or not looking forward to seeing some of these young guys, but when we're talking about letting Pete go, don't come talk to us about the young guys, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, whether we're right or wrong or whatever the case may be, a lot of fans feel like with the right moves, this team can make a run at the World Series. That's a fact. And yeah, you went out there and you got Juan Soto, and you've possibly made tons of moves that may not look like it right now, smaller moves. They could all help. We saw it last year. Who the hell was out here celebrating the signing of Jose Iglesias? Right? If we even noticed it. We shows how some people were very critical about the Sean Manaea and Luis Severino type of signings. I was one of them. But they worked out. Is this going to happen all the time? No, possibly not. Possibly not. But we don't want to hear that. When you're talking about Pete Alonso, I've said this before, man. When last season they were talking about not bringing in a guy like JD Martinez because they believed in a guy like Mark Vientos, I was all for that. Because I had already seen Mark Vientos, so I believed in him too. Now, it doesn't have to always be like that because we're not always going to get that opportunity with young guys. But right now, when we talk about moving on from a Pete Alonso, and then you don't really go get anybody as of yet to replace that production. I understand some people who say, well, you got Juan Soto to replace Pete Alonso. Should have been an addition, in my opinion. Should have been an addition. You know? So when you talk to me, I don't see that young guy. And listen, I'm high on Acuna. Like I said, hopefully you get an everyday job, second base, whatever the hell it is. We heard yesterday from Mendy, he's been taking reps at third base, and they expect Acuna to be a big part of the team, whether that be third base, second base, or whatever it is, you know? He also made sure to mention, hey, we still have McNeil. Right? But I'm not as high on a Brett Beatty. So when you're talking to me about alternatives, about moving Vientos to give Brett Beatty a shot, or maybe even keeping Vientos at third to give Brett Beatty a shot at first, I don't necessarily want to hear that. The other guys hurt, too young, not enough reps. So it's like, that's not exciting to me. But anyways, let's keep on listening here. Let me put this right here. I think this should be good.
All right. All right. All right. So, guys, let's do that for the end, okay? We've put,
Yes.
made a significant offer to Pete. What Davis says correct. He's entitled to go out and explore his market. And that's what he's doing. Personally, this has been an exhausting conversation and negotiation. I mean, Soto was tough. This is worse. Okay. And a lot of it is, we've made a significant, I don't like the structures that are being presented back to us. I think it's highly asymmetric against us. And I feel strongly about it. And so, I will never say no. There's always the possibility. But the reality is, we're moving forward and, we continue to bring in players. As we continue to bring in players, the reality is, it becomes harder to fit Pete into what is a very expensive, group of players that we already have. And that's where we are. And I'm being brutally honest. I don't like the negotiations. I don't like what's been presented to us. Listen, maybe that changes, and certainly, I'll always stay flexible. If it stays this way, I think we're going to have to get used to the fact that, we may have to go forward and with the existing players that we have.
All right, guys. So there's a lot there. I'm going to bring this back a little bit because I kind of want to go back because I also was distracted a little bit when he started speaking. But there was a lot there. The first thing that stood out to me is when he said we made a substantial offer to Pete. Listen, we're not going to know all the details. And this breaks down into, like everything, it breaks down into 2 or 3 different categories. You have people that are totally on the Mets side and whatever they say, whatever it is, that doesn't matter. Pete, screw you. You have other people that are totally against the Mets, against this, and the Mets drop the ball on this, and they're the one that's screwing Pete, and F you, David Stearns. Then you have people that are somewhere in the middle. I think that's where I fall in the middle, where I say, listen, I think both sides could have handled this a little bit better. With the owners probably being a little bit more on Pete than anybody else. Right? Because Pete can take control of the situation. We did a show about a month ago where the title was Pete Alonso needs to fire Scott Boras. Right? So I think a little bit of blame goes on everybody. But I would like to know exactly what substantial offer Steve Cohen is talking about. Are you still talking about the 7 for 158? that people keep telling me about? Because you yourself said it at that time, said it all last year. You even said, I hope Pete goes out there and makes me pay, right? I hope he makes it harder for me. Well, he's making it hard on you. Now that I think about it, he is making it hard on you. And we'll get a little bit into that because he made some comments about that. But are we still talking about that substantial offer? Because I think we all agree, or most of us agree, unless you're totally against Pete, that Pete had a right to turn that offer down. Did he make the right move? I think in retrospect, in hindsight, or whatever you want to call it, we can all go back and say Pete made the wrong move. He should have taken that damn deal. He should have taken that damn deal. You effed up, Pete. And then you effed up even more by hiring Scott Boras, who probably shouldn't have been the agent for you. Because you're not that superstar that Scott Boras can really represent and go get that money for. You're one of those in-between players where we see them have a hard time for, especially these last few years. So that was another mistake that Pete Alonso made. For those that are hard of hearing and think I don't put no blame on Pete, there it is. One more time for you guys. Yeah, Mr. Delight for you. He probably should have. He probably should have taken that offer. But it was his right to not take the offer. So I can't really kill him for it. But he probably should have not hired Scott Boras. And when he screwed up even more, which is what really matters, was his production or lack thereof a lot of times on the field last season. Especially in big situations. We know all about the numbers with men on base and all of that stuff. But he didn't have the walk gear that he needed to have in order to really put the pressure on the way that Steve Cohen talked about. He just didn't. Now, they weren't terrible numbers. You know, there are numbers that a lot of guys are not putting up. But they're not the type of numbers that you want to go to a negotiating table in a situation where it's already questioned whether you should get a long-term deal. It's been talked about for a while. Whether people are already talking about and wondering, shout out to Redman, and wondering if you're worth that kind of investment. And yes, Dan, there's been a lot of stuff that's come out lately. You know, we know that Will Salmon had some quotes from Scott Boras after the fact, after Steve Cohen made his comments, which we'll get back to in a second. And there's been talk about whether they're asking for a signing bonus, whether they're asking for some kickers. If Pete decides to opt out, whenever the opt out is, who the hell knows? I haven't really had a chance to look too much into that, so I don't want to get too much into that. I mean, I saw that Evan did a whole breakdown on it. I'm interested to go watch that and see what he thought about it, see what he said on the Rico Bronya. Shout out to them again, as I plug everybody here. But hey, I don't care. So who the hell knows? That's another thing. We don't really know. So that's what I'm saying. I would like to know what that substantial offer that Steve Cohen is talking about. As we're just hammering Pete all over the place. He made a stupid decision. He should have done this. He should have done that. Shout out to my guy Daniel Bartels. Dan Bartels holding it down with the spaces, man. Good stuff, Dan. Good stuff, brother. Does Pete settle on a one-year deal? That's a good question, Dan. I think that's a question. As a fan, I look at it from so many different ways, bro. Does he take a one-year deal? Does he suck it up, swallow his pride, and take a one-year deal? Do I, as a fan, want Pete essentially on another walk year, where I feel that a lot of his struggles last year was handling all the questions of the walk year and what he was going to do or not going to do. Do I really want Pete doing that again? Is Pete going to be able to handle it better this time? Now, the thing is, Darren, as Darren says, Mets want to give Pete 3 years, but supposedly Pete wants opt-outs and guarantee raise after opt-out. Yeah, like we don't know for sure, but why does Pete want to opt out, right? When we talk about does Pete want to be a Met or does Pete not want to be a Met? Why would Pete want to opt out if he wants to be a Met? I would think, and this is just me speculating, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I'm not an insider or anything like that. I just come to talk to you fans as a fan, and we talk it out. Why would Pete want an opt out on a 3-year deal? When you would think if I wanted to stay somewhere, you wanted some security, maybe you want 4 or 5 years. Obviously, the 7, 8-year deals, that's out of the question. But you're not going to give me that. You're going to just give me a 3-year deal and maybe not at the money that I want. So maybe you would ask for an opt-out of, if you're Pete for that because you want to give yourself a chance to maybe get a little bit more money or maybe get that longer term deal that you wanted, that security. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why people want to opt out, but that would tell me it's because the money is too low. So if I really want to be here, but this is the only thing I have, okay, then give me an opt out. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's why. And again, shout out to you guys. We got over 200 plus of you beautiful people in here, seeing some new faces, some new names, seeing some that I haven't seen in a while. Appreciate you guys. I see the comments are like just pouring in. Appreciate that. But yeah, let's get back to the video here. Like I said, there's a couple of things that Steve Cohen said that I want to touch on. So I want to listen to them together so we know what we're talking about here.
We've made a significant offer to Pete.
Significant offer, yeah.
And what Davis says correct. He's entitled to go out and explore his market, and that's what he's doing. Personally, this has been an exhausting conversation and negotiation. I mean, Soto was tough. This is worse. Okay, and a lot of it is, we've made a significant.
I wanted to touch on that real quick, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know how you guys perceive this, but this is how I perceive that. When he says this is an exhausting negotiation and Soto was tough, but this is tougher. And the way I see it is when you're going after Juan Soto, who you haven't had on your team, he is the price of the offseason. Everybody wants him. We've all been there where you want something really, really bad, and you're willing to do pretty much whatever it takes within your means to go get that, right? And sometimes you're successful in it, and sometimes you aren't, right? But in the cases where you're not successful, it hurts, it bothers you, it's disappointing. But at the end of the day, you say, you know what? I never had that. I'm not going to go crazy about it. Maybe there'll be another opportunity, whatever it is. Maybe that's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, But still, it's like I never had it at the end of the world. Especially now, you throw in the fact, though, we're talking about the human element here. So this is not just a material thing. This is a relationship when it comes to Pete Alonso. So it's not something from afar, someone from afar. So I think that's what makes it harder for Steve Cohen the fact that here's someone that I have a relationship with that I really do like. I believe what Steve Cohen says. We love Pete Alonso. We want him back. David Stearns with a smirk. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure David Stearns really wants Pete Alonso back. He'll take him back as a stopgap for 2 or 3 years, for a year really, but we'll offer you that 3 years hoping that you kill it and opt out. But that's what I think. That's what I think it is for Steve Cohen. You have a relationship with the player, but you're being a good owner, you're being a responsible owner, and you're listening to your president of baseball operations, who you've empowered to run your team. And your president of baseball operations says, this is not a good investment, as much as we love him. So we can only do this at this level. Or I'm only willing to do this at this level. This is my advice. This is what I would like to do. Now, Steve Cohen could say, no, go give it to him, bring him back, and maybe eventually we get there. But like I said, right now, we may not like it. We may not like it. Some of you may not even like to hear me say this. I could think of one person in particular. I love that person, but I know they're not going to like what I'm saying. But right now, yeah, he's being a good owner. And he's letting the person that he hired to do the job. That is what you want in a good, successful organization. You want an ownership that's willing to provide the resources to do whatever it takes to go out there and win. And you want them to hire and have the right people in place to get the job done. The process along the way we may not like, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe we got an hour and a half here talking. Oh my gosh. But the process is solid right now, guys. The process is solid right now. Even if I myself am not too happy with how the process is going. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Even as I'm sitting here right now speaking about it, I'm trying to figure out exactly how I feel about it. Because I have frustrations with both sides. And like I said, I think both sides could have handled things better. I really do. I really do. But right now, see this shirt here? Pete called game. Pete might need to call game on his relationship with Scott Boras. Pete needs to take control of this game being played right now. And stop letting Scott Boras control the game. You control the game, Pete. I hope you watch Blunt Thoughts like your manager might. Shout out to Mendy. Dímelo, Mendy. I hope you watch Blunt Thoughts, Pete. You need to take control of the game, bro. We want you back. They want you back. Some more than others as far as they. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Because I really don't believe David Stearns wants him back. But there's a path for you to come back, Pete. But you need to take control. I believe you want to come back. I do. I believe you want to come back. Let me share something with you guys, and we'll go back to this video. Let me find something real quick that I want to share with you guys also, though. Another video. Some other comments. Bear with me a second here as I find it. You know what? I think I had it bookmarked. Where is it? Where the hell is it? Come on, Heck, man. You got to do better. Here we go. Hold on. All right. Ready to go. I think we're ready to go here. Let's switch that up. Share that. Boom. Here we go. This is Brandon Nimmo, who I missed out on before he left right before I got up there, talking to Joe B and Sal. Now, obviously, he's talking about himself. He talks a little bit about the plantar fasciitis and all that. He talks about the peace situation.
You have a chance to be a Met your entire career.
Yes.
Only David Wright has ever done that. They're putting his number up in the rafters this year.
Yep.
How about that?
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do?
Was one of the intriguing things about coming back to the Mets was spending your whole career with them, and it was something that came into play when we were making decisions in free agency. And I definitely thought about it. You know, I thought, okay, you stay with the Mets, you have a chance to put your numbers in the rafters, and that's not something that a lot of people get the opportunity to do. And so when you get faced with that decision, it's a very heavy weight, and you're like, that's really pulling me back in that spot. Something really special is gonna have to draw me away from that. So it's something that I want to do, and I'm hoping to finish my career with the Mets. You know, I think you were alluding to Pete. I would love to see him back. Pete's a good friend of mine, been a great teammate, and obviously amazing hitter his whole career. Would love to see him back, but also going through that process, I understand that it is a business of baseball, and this is where you get that opportunity. You've worked really hard for those 6 years to be in the big leagues and stay there and have success, and you get to make a decision on where you want to spend, you know, either the rest of your career or a portion of your career. And there's more that goes into it than just, you know, hey, I want to come and spend my career back, you know, with the Mets, and I want to see my number up in those rankings. There's, you know, family situations that go into it. There's obviously financial numbers that go into it. There's years that go into it, whether you want that stability or not. So with all these things, there's an emotional side, and I have no doubt that Pete, you know, he emotionally is tied.
Have you talked to him, by the way?
I've talked to him. Yeah.
Okay.
I've talked to him, and he's loved his time with the Mets, and he loves the fan base, and he loves New York.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the part really that I wanted to, you know what? Let me bring that back real quick. Because this part right here, come on.
That stability or not. So that stability or not. There's years to go into it, whether the financial numbers to go into it. There's years to go into it, whether you want that stability or not. So
when he talks about the things that go into making a decision, everybody always focuses on the money. And like he said, there's different things that go into it. Yeah, financial, family situation, and sometimes that security. Years. So again, if you're someone like Pete Alonso, I was having this conversation earlier with somebody. If you're Pete Alonso and you truly want to be a Met, right? We can debate. Some people believe it that he does. Some people believe that they don't believe that he does. You truly want to be a Met. What benefit does it to you to accept a 3-year deal? No, I want to be here the rest of my career. I want some security. You're out here giving out 8-10-year deals. I want something like that. Okay, now we passed that. Pete should have taken that 7-year deal. He didn't. He screwed up. At this point right here, though, now. How do we know that Pete's just not saying, like, damn, I just want 4 years, guys? Or maybe he started at 5. I just want 5 years, guys. Or maybe he started at 6. Maybe he said, you know what? You guys offered me 7. I played that 1 year. There's 6 left of that deal. Can I get those 6? Let's not forget, that was Billy Epler who made that offer. Everything we know about David Stearns, that a lot of you guys that may be watching here and gals have told me, that is not David Stearns' MO. Pete Alonso doesn't fit the mold of player that David Stearns likes. You guys have told me this. David Stearns likes athletic players. So what if David Stearns' best offer to Pete has always been a 3-year offer with an opt-out? You guys can't see why Pete Alonso maybe doesn't want that? Because he's like, nah, man, you're like basically pushing me out the door. And you say, well, Pete has no offers, Hector. Where are all the offers? We don't really know. It doesn't seem like there is. And now we're recently hearing about maybe a couple of offers. But what if teams are like, you know what, this dude really wants to go there? Remember the conversation we have with the agent? The agent says his priority is to go to the Mets. But what do you got for us? You never know. Reach back to us if he's really considering leaving. Because teams don't want to put nothing out there to go get used, right? We heard that Pete and Scott told the Mets, we're giving you this exclusive 3-year deal. We're not willing to do this with nobody else. Recently. But what if then, even when Pete said, you know what, as much as I wanted 5, 6, even 4 years, you know what, to hell with it. I'll take the short 3-year deal with an opt-out. But then now the money is an insult. Or let me not say an insult, but now the money's not where he wants it to be. So now it's back to, damn, I give in on the years and now I fight for the money again. So that's what I mean. Like, I could get why Pete would feel the way he did. I did a show where I said recently, either a show or video, when I was like, you know what, Pete, just walk away. I think that was at the title of my last show, right? The theme of my last show, I think. Just walk away, Pete. Enough. Just go. Just go, man. Just go. Because at this point, I just don't see how this could go well. And you never know. You never know. Maybe Pete comes back on a 1-year deal. Like, who was it that said earlier? Darren said earlier. Maybe that he actually. Oh no, that was my guy Dan who suggested it. Maybe he does that. But overall, it's time for Pete to take control of the situation by either firing Scott Boras or picking up the phone and calling Steve Cohen himself and saying, Steve, I saw your comments. I really want to come back. You're saying you guys love me. You guys want me back. I understand it's been rough, but let's figure this out, man. You and I. And if that doesn't work, just walk away. But you need to take control of the situation, Pete. You need to take control of the situation. Because if we listen to this, guys, as we listen again to the ending here of Steve Cohen, they're ready to move on. And they've already started to move on. We've seen it. Let's listen in here one last time.
I don't like the structures that are being presented back to us. I think it's highly asymmetric against us. And again,
this is, we could speculate. There's been a lot of speculation of what the offers are coming back. He said asymmetric against us. If someone over what people are speculating, then I can see why he would say that. I can see why he would say that. If they're asking for kickers, if there's an opt-out and stuff like that. But I don't know. Because if the player opts out, why the hell am I going to give you more money if you opt out? I would think it's because, and I don't know if anybody's brought this up. I'm just thinking about this. Are there any buyouts? What if the Mets are asking for a buyout? Right? What if it's, because I've said this before, when a player asks for an opt-out on these long-term deals, right? I've always said, okay, if you could get an opt-out, can I get a buyout the year after or 2 years later? So what if it's the Mets saying, okay, we'll give you a 1-year deal with an opt-out after the first year. And there's no opt out after the second year, but we want a buyout then. Can we get a buyout after the second year? And what if that's where Pete and Scott were saying, okay, you want to buy out, but if you buy out the contract again because I really want to be here, then you got to kick in $3 million, $5 million. Maybe that's where the kicker comes in. Stan, it's interesting you said that because from what I've heard, rumored, maybe Mrs. Alonso had a lot to do with Pete firing his previous representation and going to Boris. So was that good advice by Mrs. Alonso? I don't know, but I don't know if that's true. That's just something that I saw. I didn't even remember where I saw that. But whether it's Mrs. Alonso, Pete Alonso himself, whether it's his parents, the Alonsos need to run this ship. They need to take control of the situation. We've talked about this before many times. These things are done different ways. Some players, let the agent do whatever the hell they want. Just come back to me with the final, parameters or whatever, and I'll tell you whether I agree with it or not. Obviously, they've already had a conversation where the agent tells the player, this is what I think I could get for you. This is what I think you're worth. This is what I think the market would be like. This is what I think we could settle at. But this is what we're going to go for. We're going to shoot for the moons, the stars, and we might, whatever the saying is. And then there's players that are involved step by step. Yeah, it can mean anything, Stan. It can mean front-loaded. It can mean anything. Excuse me. That's what I mean. Like, a lot of that stuff is left to interpretation, and it's how you want to interpret it. Sometimes the way we interpret things is affected by which side you sit on already. So if you sit on the Mets side, you might interpret it as, oh, well, Pete is being unreasonable. If you sit on Pete's side, you say that you think, well, nothing should be asymmetrical against you with all your billions of dollars. Just give him the money, because I've heard that. And then you could be in the middle where I am, and you're like, I don't know what the fuck this all means. And why are you guys giving me a headache? Just figure this shit out. That's where I'm at, ladies and gentlemen. Just figure it out. Figure it out, man. Stop messing around. This crap is taking long enough. This should not go past this week. I don't care, man. I don't care. You got people talking about there might be already a deal in place, pending physical. There might be this, there might be that with Toronto. Then go sign the damn deal. Mayhem spoke to the Angels. Go there. Figure it out. You move on, the team moves on, and we move on as fans. But it's time to figure this out. It's time to figure it out. I've said it a couple of times. I said, my guy Amazin, shout out to Amazin, keeps talking to me about offers. I don't give a damn about offers at this point, bro. I don't give a damn about offers at this point. Figure it out. I've already said Pete should have came in and said, yo, this, and that. I've already said the man should have came and said, here's a 4-year deal, take it or leave it. And now they've done their take it or leave it. But is it on this 3-year opt-out deal nonsense? I could understand why Pete doesn't take that. I could. You don't have to agree with me. But I don't give a damn about offers at this point. I'm over the offer shit. And that's what I'm saying. This needs to be figured out already. Because it's exhausting. This is just as exhausting as Amazing Day was. But Amazing Day had a payoff. That was fun. I met Mendy. He knew who I was. Got to chit chat with Shomanaya again. Have fun with AJ Minter. Had other encounters with players in the hallways. Saw a bunch of friends. New and old, made new friends. All of that. There was payoff to the exhaustion of Amazing Day. Is there going to be a payoff to the exhaustion that this Pete Alonso situation is? Because I done had it with this crap. It's enough. You called game once before on the field, Pete. You need to call game right now off the field. End this nonsense already, bro. The ball's in your court. Whether you want it in your court or not. The owner yesterday threw the ball in your court. What are you going to do? You going to let Scott Boras still keep having your name dragged through the mud? Because he wants to win for himself, not necessarily for you? This is your life, bro. It's your contract. It's your career. Take control. Now, I don't know. Maybe you are in control. Maybe this is the way you want it to go down. I can't see why anyone would want this shit to go down like this. I couldn't stand to hear some of the crap that's being said if I was you. Pick a place, bro. And I know, trust me, Pete, I know. I believe your preference is here. I believe when Brandon Nimmo said that he knows you want to be here. I believe it. I've believed it the whole time. But you got to show it, bro. And if you can't get what you want or enough, whatever it is, then just make the move, bro. Just go. Just don't go to Anaheim. Oof, don't go to Anaheim, bro. You're better off doing the Toronto thing. Shit, even go to San Francisco, which probably wouldn't be a good move for you as a hitter. But you could probably have some team success there. They seem to be able to every now and then figure things out. I don't know. But just end this crap already, please, Pete. Can we end this already, man? Man, I've had enough of this crap conversation. Go back to these comments, because another thing that bothered me about these comments a little bit. And I get it. Because I was one of the first people talking about this stuff. That this guy wasn't just going to come out here and be a lunatic and spend like a drunken sailor. But certain things is like, come on, man.
I feel strongly about it. And so, I will never say no. There's always the possibility. But the reality is, we're moving forward and, we continue to bring in players. As we continue to, bring in players, the reality is, it becomes harder to fit Pete into what is a very expensive, group of players that we already have.
Really? Really? I understand it. I really do. Like I said. And I don't want to throw around irresponsible money. But I don't want to hear the $22 billion man talking about this is getting expensive. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear that nonsense. I just don't. You told me this was a philanthropic venture, right? It was all about making the fans happy. I want to hear about your wallet. It sure as hell ain't struggling as much as mine. And I give you money. Very little. But I give it to you. And I know I myself shared numbers last time about how the margin between the Dodgers and the money that they make and the money that we lose and the money that per fan and all that stuff. But still, I don't want to hear this guy complain to me about no damn finances, bro. Not right now. Not beginning into year 5 of your ownership. I'm sorry. So that kind of like ticked me off a little bit. Don't want to hear that crap. But the thing you heard right before that is basically him telling Pete, we're moving the hell on.
And that's where we are. And I'm being brutally honest.
Yeah, that was brutally honest.
I don't like the negotiations.
I'm being brutally honest.
I don't like what's been presented to us. Listen, maybe that changes, and certainly, I'll always stay flexible. If it stays this way, I think we're going to have to get used to the fact that, we may have to go forward and with the existing.
David Stearns smiles even more. He's like, "Yeah, we're moving forward, motherfucker. I've been moved forward." That's what David Stearns is thinking. I've been moved forward. I don't know about these guys over here, these fools in the crowd, but I've been moved forward. But there it is, man. And that's the Pete Alonso situation in a nutshell. Pete needs to take control. Pete is pretty much out the door. And there was one thing I don't want to play it back because there was something else he said there that I wanted to touch on real quick. But I'm just exhausted by the whole Pete thing.
Let me show you how to block this ad. First, you're going to click on this video. Then you're going to download Pi. It's an ad blocker. That's
what happens when you freaking hit stuff by mistake. God damn it. Would you stop? Yeah, Pete, just figure it out, Pete. Just figure it out, Pete. Just figure it the hell out, man. Enough is enough. Take control. And if you really want to come back, make it happen. If there's no path back, just go just sign somewhere, man. Sign somewhere and end this charade, man. This cannot go into spring training. And listen, maybe Pete's situation will go into spring training and it could mean nothing to us. Because it could be get to a point where it's obvious, like, you know what, or where they even come out and say, you know what, guys, that's it. We've moved on. This is the team that we're going with when Pete's not coming back. Maybe we get to that point and Peter's still out there trying to figure out what the hell he's going to do at that point. That'll be up to them. Another thing that I wanted to talk about real quick, and it's back to the whole Nimmo comments, because it's something that he said earlier on about his struggles, and it's something that I talked about last year, and it's something, like I told you guys, quite often after the games, I'll go hang out by the players' lot. You know what I'm saying? And the guy that always stops is Brandon Nimmo. You got to wait a long time, but he's like the one, it's sometimes the only one to stop and actually chit-chat and sign autographs and take pictures and all that good stuff. So in one of those encounters that I asked him, like, yo, Nimmo, what's up, man? Like, I was surprised with your struggles this year. I talked about him moving in the lineup, being dropped down to 4-5 and all that good stuff, and how I felt, and I had suggested that the Mets maybe should do that, because I felt like if anybody on the Mets who could be moved around in the lineup and not change his approach or anything like that, not be affected by it, would be him. And he basically said what he says here. Let's see. And I forget exactly what point we're on here. So I may have to mess with it a little bit to hear what he said, but here we go.
We were making decisions in free agency, and I definitely thought about it. You know, I thought, okay, you stay with the Mets, you have a chance to put your thing to do. And so when you get faced with that, that's really pulling me back in that spot. Something I would love to see back, but also going through that process, I understand that it is a business, and there's more that goes into it than just, you know, hey, I want to financial numbers to go into it.
Have you talked to him, by the way?
I've talked to him.
The ground. You have a chance to be a Met your entire career.
Yes.
Only fighters that has ever done that. How about that?
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do?
Was one of the intriguing things about coming back to
I thought it was in this clip. I guess I was wrong. But he talked about, he tried to make too many adjustments last year, and that kind of messed with him. And he basically had told me the same thing. And finally, at the end of the year, he finally got to a groove. He finally figured things out, and you saw that he got better to the point where then, he struggled with the plantar fasciitis. So I thought that was interesting. I expect, and I've said this before, I expect Nimmo to come back now this season, having figured all that out and having more of a better season, and to be more of a complete player now, having gone from that player that first came up and, in my opinion, walked too damn much and took too many damn pitches, to then becoming a guy that was hitting for average and still doing that, to then recently a guy that had showed a little bit more power but then struggled with the average and in the on base and it wasn't as good, to now being that complete package and finding that groove, finding that nice balance between the two. And I think he can come back and do that this year. I don't have him here, but I also saw some comments from Francisco Alvarez, which I love. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that, because I thought that was great. And he talked about things that we talked about. We would like to see Alvarez be a little bit more patient at the plate, be a little bit more selective, and so on and so forth. And he talked about the fact that he wants to try to do that this season. I want to see if I can find that real quick. Here we go. Heck. Here we go. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Let's do this. And action.
You had some advice regarding plate discipline for you and stuff. Have you identified something with your hitting that you've been working on this offseason, and what can you share what that is?
Yes. So I working a lot of things in my hitting, so I really think in spring training I have to keep working on that. I do a lot. I change a lot of things, so I think I'm going to have more play discipline, and I'm going to have better numbers too.
So basically, I'm gonna have better play discipline and better numbers too, which obviously, right, that should translate. If he has better play discipline, it should translate to better numbers, right? Whether it be because you take a walk here where you might have struck out, and that helps your on base percentage. Whether it be now because you get better pitches, because pitchers recognize that you're not swinging at these pitches anymore, so they have to stay in the zone more, and now you get better pitches to hit, and you have more success there. Better play discipline, which is something that our buddy Pete Alonso could exhibit, will help in many ways. Right? As we know, we got frustrated with Pete Alonso swinging at those sliders in the dirt all the time, which I also think Pete Alonso would have better play discipline this year with the addition of Juan Soto. At least I would hope he would. But we're going to leave Pete Alonso alone. But, man, it's been 2 hours. It's been a smaller, intimate crowd than the last few crowds we've had, which have gotten a little crazy. But an unexpected show on a Sunday night. A show, to be honest, that I didn't really know what the hell I was going to talk about besides a little bit about Amazing Day, but I probably went on and on about it a little bit too much early on, just trying to find my path and just trying to give you guys a little bit of tidbits and how maybe you can help make it the best experience for yourself. So like I said, if you're going with friends, make sure you're in the same time slot. Get the autograph out the way, and then decide what's most important and make those lines first, if anything, and get that out the way. And then you have the rest of the day to either find a strategic place, either in the tunnel, in and out of the auditorium up there, or the piazza up there where they did the interviews, where you can have chance encounters with all these players and alumni and all that good stuff. So that's same, Richard. Thanks, man. So I wanted to help you out, guys, with that. A little bit of our thoughts on this whole Steve Cohen comments. Figure it out, Pete. Just figure it out, man. Figure it out. Juan Soto. Hope we don't see many more strikeouts, bro. But you already had your first strikeout of 2025. You should have been an amazing day. You should have been an amazing day. That was not amazing by you. I'm sorry. And then you dragged Brazuban and Daniel Nunez with you because I'm sure they were on your flight that you were probably paying for. Again, shout out to Aaron, T-Rod, Chicken Nugget, Jay, and anybody else that I may have forgotten that we crossed paths out there. Shout out to Patty, my guy Quays, and all of them. Lisa, Andy, Skills, everybody. And on that note, the boys probably gonna be gone for a week. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, there will be no blunt thoughts on Tuesday, unless I just get super bored on my birthday. But we're gonna try to avoid that. But shout out to my guy Top, who invited me to his show, Top Bunk Sports. If you don't check him out, check him out. He's on YouTube, on X, all that good stuff. So I'm supposed to be in his show, on Saturday. No, sorry. The hell am I talking about? On Wednesday. I think 6 p.m. I'll share that stuff on X and all that good stuff. You can check that out if you want to hear a little bit more from my dumbass. If you've had enough, I totally understand. We'll see you the next Tuesday, unless something happens. Maybe Pete Alonso signs. Probably not. Unless we make a trade or anything else. Who the hell knows, right? We never know what could happen. We never know what could pop up. But as far as the show, this will probably be it until the next Tuesday. I don't know what day that'll be. Make videos every now and then, whatever. Something happens, and just any thought that comes up. We've gotten a little bit away from that just because. Just tired of talking about the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Just tired of talking about the same thing. Figure it out, Pete. Figure it the hell out. You know what? Before we go, I was just gonna say bye, but let me take a quick. Oh my gosh, I can't even do it, man. I love you people, man. There's so many of you guys. There's so many comments. Let's see here what we got. Let's see. You see, Amazin, do I call you dumb? Do I insult you? It's my opinion. He should have been there. You don't like it? Too fucking bad, bro. Like, that's out of line, bro. And I told you, I fucks with you. You share your name with my brother, nickname with my brother. But don't come out here calling me dumb on my platform, bro. Because you can get the fucking stepping. Straight up. And I bring it up because that goes for everybody. Don't intentionally insult me. I won't intentionally insult you. I'm telling you right now. You don't like my opinion, it's fine. You don't have to agree with me. Don't come on my shit and call me dumb. Don't say, I didn't call you dumb. I said just as dumb. Don't play that fucking game. Juan Soto should have been there, whether you fucking like it or not. Maybe I should have stayed away from the fucking comments. Straight up. Thank you, Stan. Thank you. Not everybody's a fucking homer and is going to defend everything that the fucking team does or everything that these players do. It's okay to call them out. Or not even call them out, but it's okay to say, yo, you could have done better there. And that's your blunt thoughts for a Sunday night. I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here. Peace out, y'all. Good night. As always, let's fucking go, Mets, and figure this shit out with Pete. Pete, take control. Peace. Go black, Quays, please. My click full of animals.
minimals, and we made ourselves with minimal. Fuck you, no subliminals. Putting in this work, nigga. That's why they feelings hurt, nigga. Swear we need a hearse, cause we rep our shites to the dirt, nigga. If I'm in the club.